Hello, everybody. This is Zyken, the wrestling technician from Montpellier, France, and you are watching the best indie wrestling show on the whole internet, CCP Podcast.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. I am Chris Page. That right there, that is the sexiest man from the Netherlands. He is just a sexy goth.
Sexy golf.
And it is a Saturday afternoon live. If you're joining us on Twitch, if you're catching it on replay on YouTube, it's Someday that ends with a Y. Goth, Beyond the Bell.
Yes, sir. We are ready. We've got to sit down with somebody interesting in the wrestling community, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. This is one that was put together over the last couple of weeks. I got hit up randomly via DM on Instagram, and I think I told you the story, or you may have heard it on one of the other Beyond the Bells. And usually, when someone hits you up and says, "Hey, I got some people I want to send your way. Is that all right?" You say, "Yeah, go ahead." Nothing ever happens. You don't ever hear from nobody. This is a rare situation where legit, I got hit up, said, "Hey man, can I send you some people?" Sure, no problem. Within 12 hours, 5 shows are set up and ready to rock and roll, and there's like another 4 or 5 to come. It's fantastic to see that it does exist, and our guest
Yeah.
today is proof positive of that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the one and only Mr. Coupe Deville. How are you, sir?
Good, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Living
I'm
the
doing
dream.
good.
That's about all I can do. How's life with you, man? What's going on?
Life is good. Life is good. I'm up in Colorado these days.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
down in Florida, and he's obviously in the Netherlands. But we are ready to rock and roll. I'm excited to sit down and talk to you. I say that everyone's role in professional wrestling, regardless of what it is very crucial and critical. And we have talked to a lot of different people, from in-ring talent to ring announcers, producers, the whole nine. I've never talked to somebody that's been involved in the music side of the equation, and I'm going to be stoked to dive into this and as well, figure out along the way how you came across us, the initial conversations that we've had along the way, and what you are doing, because what you're doing has not been done before, and I think it needs to be talked about. It needs to be discussed. So I'm stoked to dive in. And usually, when I get these things going, I usually start at the top, and with a talent, or whoever that may be. When did you fall in love with professional wrestling? What drew you in, and made you start thinking about even trying to pursue an avenue in it?
So I started my love of wrestling came as a kid. My uncle would have it on the TV all the time. The first event I ever actually watched, I believe it was like WrestleMania 6 or 7. I can't remember, but it was either one. And how, as far as I getting into music, I've been doing music for about 20 years now, professionally, but the wrestling side started back in 2019. I just kind of flipped the switch. I was kind of tired of just hearing, I don't know, just boring music. Sorry, my phone had an update.
No worries.
No problem. No problem.
It told me it wanted to update, and I was like, remind me later. So
It's
okay, I
frozen.
don't know. Did my I think my screen is frozen.
It did. It froze you. All you have to do is exit out the call. There you go. There you go. Turn it back on. Now you're
I got
back.
you.
All right.
So yeah, so let's now that we got the complications out the way.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to
yeah,
the.
I was just tired of hearing just basic boring music from wrestlers.
Yeah.
Um, and I noticed because I watch a lot of independent wrestling as well, because I just love wrestling. I noticed a lot of wrestlers just didn't have custom music. They were using artist music.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you do that, okay, so like if you want to post on Instagram, your social media, you can't post that music.
No,
No
no.
copyrights. That's a son of a bitch. We fight those. We
Exactly.
fight those frequently.
Exactly. So with me being a registered artist through ASCAP, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a writer. I can get around all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And that's how you kind of
So
got drew in and attached to it. So 99 was
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah, I got hooked.
well, who was kind of like one of the first guys that you approached and was like, "Yo, I can help you. I can get you something." Like, how does that work? How does that? He just throw the fucking
So
line out there and
I asked
say,
about 150 guys.
"Yeah." How many did you get? I
Yeah,
mean,
I asked about 150 guys,
so of that
and
initial.
one guy said yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's talk
it
about it.
starts with the first one.
So one guy said yes. A lot. I got a lot of no's before yes. His name is Jordy Taylor. He's out of Vancouver. He's a really, really good wrestler. Um, he just needed. I was like, hey, dude, I'll do it for free. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna charge you.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to get my foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, his first song isn't on YouTube or Spotify or anything like that, but his second song is the one I did. It's on Spotify. And I always tell the artists if we make any money, I mean not the artists, the wrestlers, if I make any money off of the song, I'll give you some of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll see a portion of that. I have no problem with that.
That's great. I was wondering what you were saying previously about the music from wrestlers that you felt was kind of boring. Which of the
Oh,
wrestlers,
yeah.
which was the wrestlers was where you thought like, oh, I can make a better music for it, and what went through your head at that point, like, I want to do this, or what I want to do that. Which of the wrestlers were that made you want to do this?
I can't really say there was like one specific wrestler
Mm-hmm.
that I can like pinpoint. But what I can say, um, was I was just like I said, it all sounds the same to me. To be honest, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of it when the wrestlers come out now. You still go, who is that? Almost, you know what I mean? There's a few
Mm-hmm.
that you know instantly,
Mm-hmm.
but there's
Yeah.
only a few. I remember when I was a kid, I knew all of them.
Yeah,
As soon as the
Yeah.
music hit.
I was an '80s child, and it could even through like the mid '90s, I could tell you who had what. You go back to, and like and really and truly, like themes kind of define you as a professional
Yeah.
wrestler. You know, look at Jake Roberts. I think he has one of the greatest theme songs of all fucking time. And it's not
Yeah.
the lyrical "Trust Me" version of it. It was just the instrumental. It fit, and it can make or break you to a degree. And I don't know if a lot of the guys out there now look at that as a perspective versus. I mean, I know when I was in the ring. Now you got to go back 25 years. In '99, when you were getting into music, I was lacing my boots. So back then, it was more of a we didn't have to worry about YouTube and copyrights and shit like that just yet. We were in the infancy of the internet, and it hadn't exploded. So there was still a lot that you were able to do in your local markets, even on television in your local markets that you weren't able to do, that you're not able to do now. I remember going through that process. Like I would watch the guys, and they would all pick 90% of them would all pick whatever was hot at the time, right? Like the old
Mm-hmm.
vets specifically. If there was something that was super hot, and take yourself back to 1999, obviously like DDP was a pretty big thing in WCW. Diamond Cutter was a pretty big finish that was over like Rover. If 50-year-old vet pulling out the diamond cutter and he's never used it before a day in his life. Stuff like that. With the music aspect of it, it was I, I it was guys would rather pull something popular than pull something that fits your image and fit what you're trying to do. When you're thinking about writing a
Yeah.
track or putting a track together for somebody, like you got to kind of encompass the character. How do you go about when you're going through this process with whoever it may be? You know, when it comes to feeling the character out to start putting some music together, what does that look like for you guys? Is it a collaborative conversation? How's that process look when you're starting a project with somebody from ground one?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I can take you to the through the process. So basically, what I first do, I ask them for a bio. I want to get to know them. Um, and when I ask for the bio, I ask for certain things. I always ask for signature moves, catchphrases, um, where they're from, stuff
Hmm.
like that. I want to know just basically the ins and outs of who they are. I don't need every specific detail, but I want to know who your character is,
Right.
so to say. You know what I mean? Not your shoot personality. I need to know your wrestler personality. So once I get that, then I'll start the writing process and um I'll give them, some instrumentals to look at. I'll be like, here, this is what I think should go with it. This is how I think it should sound. It's just my creativity. They can disagree with me and we can keep looking, but most of them agree 90% of the time with, what I got going.
Got it. It sounds like it's pretty much a hey, let me get a snapshot of you, and now we're gonna enhance that, and we're gonna see what we can do to break that down a little bit deeper.
Um yeah, it's kind of something like that, but I also go through their social media and stuff and get a feel for their character as well. I don't just ask them who they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
and
yeah.
just write. You know what I mean? I really dive into their page, check out their content, their in-ring work, all that.
Goth, what you got?
I'm just uh, trying to dissect everything that's been said, and I think it's great to hear that you're really starting to get a feel for the character, get a feel for the wrestler, that and how he behaves himself on social media or what he's doing to get a feel like for a wrestling theme. Because I believe that a wrestling theme is one of the most, if not the most important thing for a wrestler for to get uh, noticed by the crowd. Because the first thing that you hear is the music interest. Like I'm a big fan of the $1 Million Man Teddy DiBiase theme because okay, it's Teddy DiBiase. It's a classic. Um, have you many situations where a wrestler said no, or have you had many situations where a wrestler said, "What if you do this?" or "What if you do that?" And how does that work?
I give suggestions. Yeah. I always tell them it's just advice. You don't have to take it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, and I'm with you 100%. The music is the first thing you hear when a
Yeah.
wrestler comes out. So I think it's so important. Um, so that's why I think it's very important for me to get to know their character because I don't think I'd be able to write the music as good as I can if I don't get to know who they actually are.
Which is your favorite music theme that you've made so far for a wrestler?
Goth, you got a microphone
Uh,
issue, Goth. Your mic is really low.
I,
Okay.
I heard what he said.
Oh,
I
okay.
heard what he
Yeah.
said. So
It's
my favorite one that I've done so far is the one that I actually just did. It's not out yet. I'm actually putting it on my Spotify. Um, I did it for some guys out of Toronto.
Hmm.
Um, Jackson Roy, Mikey Truth, D Smith, and I believe Sway Archer. They're called the Dynasty.
Okay.
It's it's really good. I'm excited, very excited for people to hear it. Um, yeah, it drops June 20th. It'll be
That's
out.
that was my next question. Was like, when is it gonna drop? Because we need to have that information in the description down below. Um, you talk about putting themes together. Let me pick your brain. Who are some of your old school themes that you resonated with in your early fandom?
Okay, okay. I like that question. I've never actually been asked that one. That's a good question. So some themes that actually resonate with me. The NWO Wolfpack.
Okay.
Love it. I love that theme. Um, the old school. I love the Ultimate Warrior one.
Yeah.
I love that one when I was a kid. When I was growing up, I loved it. Um, I'm a big Jim Johnston guy though too.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
like really anything that he did in the 90s. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
even the early 2000s. I don't exactly know when he left the company. But I was a Jim Johnston guy.
Fucking Gold Dust. It's one of those that you, when it was soon as
Oh,
it hits,
that was,
you, you just
and
know.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's that's that's
It's the immediate connection, and it's what draws you in. It's a piece of what I say everything's crucial and everything's critical from a referee all the way down to the music, and I mean that. Like that's without it,
Yeah.
you could have you could be the best fucking guy in the world. You could have but your presentation is everything. If you have shitty presentation, it's it's not going to end well for you under no circumstances. Um, I'm curious because our paths crossed literally just a couple of weeks ago, and I get a lot of messages. Just it's insane. I didn't ever expect to be in the position that I'm in at this point in time, just covering and doing independent wrestling. Oh, we started by watching independent wrestling just all over the world. We didn't we didn't
nice.
start talking to people or even thinking about that until about a year ago, and that's just kind of taken off on a mind of its own. But we dive into everything independent wrestling on every continent. Um, we can tell you what's going on in Australia, the UK, Africa, fucking Brazil. Is that right, Goth? Am I missing Brazil?
Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. And
Nice, nice, nice. I love it.
I get this DM
Even
from
Malaysia.
yeah, Malaysia, Vietnam. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. It's insane. I get the DM from you out of the blue, and you have to, like I said at the top of the show, I'm accustomed to okay, and it's happened so often where people, oh yeah, well, let me send you this person. Okay, cool. Nothing happens. But then I get this message from you. You said, hey man, I came across your stuff. Got some people that I'd love to send your way. How did you stumble across me and what we're doing on our platform that led to our initial conversation via DM?
So it's really happenstance almost. So I network and I go through profiles. Yours
Mm-hmm.
just happened to pop up. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to network with podcasts. I'm looking to network with photographers, wrestling promotions, wrestlers, anybody, referees, ring announcers, you name it. I'm networking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just networking anybody I can possibly connect with in the industry because I figure the more people that we know, the more followers we can get, grow the brand, such and such.
So the brand is the real moment of truth. Was that I want to make sure
Yes.
I pronounce that correctly because I'm known to botch names. Uh, Tell me a little bit. We talked a little bit before we came on the air, but it's a concept that is it's new. There's not anyone else doing something like this. Tell
Nope.
me, tell the audience here and those watching on YouTube, what is the real moment of truth, and what's the platform, and what are you guys trying to accomplish with it?
Okay, so the real moment of truth was started so upcoming independent wrestlers could connect through other promotions and network. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I see a lot of times that it's a little dog eat dog world out there. You know what I mean? The music industry and the wrestling industry have a lot in common. It's kind of it's like that, and I kind of want to start something new. You know what I mean? Something that's never been done. It's a social media Instagram wrestling faction. That's what it is. It's as simple as that. We help promote the wrestlers, get podcast interviews. I post their content all the time. I post pictures, other stuff. Yeah. So t-shirts coming for the members for sure. Um 33 wrestlers are on the roster. I think that's kind of where I might add a couple more. There's a couple guys that I'm interested in, and girls that I'm interested in. But other than that, we're kind of set. I feel like we got a really, really solid roster. I don't know if you've actually checked out the whole roster because I know you guys are super busy with
I've
everything.
not checked everything out just yet. I've seen probably 10 of the
Okay.
rosters that I'm aware of. But
Okay. Cool.
these are talents. Just so we talk about those are talents that are all over the place, not just here in the States. I know that there's a couple in Canada. Uh, where else is the reach? Are you guys global yet? Have you found some global talent to help it get on an international level?
So we're starting. So I got a couple in Canada, one in Belgium, Legion Von Creed, and then I just got a guy in Australia. Just got a guy in Australia. His name is the
Oh,
Gospel Matthew Gabriel. He just joined. I
Where's
just posted him like two or three.
what fed's he from in Australia?
I do not know exactly where. I just asked him where he was from so I could post his flag.
Okay. Well, see, now I've got deep ties to Australia.
Mhm.
It's super deep ties in
Well,
Australia.
and that's why I
okay.
thought you guys might know when you said that. When you were
As
like, "Oh, we got ties in Australia," and I'm
as a
like,
as a
he
matter,
goes by the Gospel Matthew Gabriel.
I'm gonna have to. I feel like I've seen him. I feel like I've seen him. I've seen him about every Fed in Australia, so I had to have had come across him at some point in time or another. As a matter of fact, we've got another Beyond the Bell a little bit later on tonight, and it's with Redshaw, who's out of Australia. So
Uh,
we're definitely well connected in that area for sure, and I think that is great that you've got an international thing going. I had approached, so this is probably gonna give me heat. I don't give a shit. I had approached several, content creators that do independent wrestling, and have tried to be like, I want to, let's collaborate, let's try and do some stuff, let's, I can share your content, it's this, that, and the other. Just about everybody I came across would not reciprocate or didn't. It's almost like that people are too focused on what they're doing than thinking about like the bigger
Yeah,
picture. And I think that that's something that separates what we do here is we don't. I don't care about uh, short-term relationships. If it's a short-term relationship, then I'm probably not going to be interested or invested. I'm here for long-term commitments and long-term partnerships because everybody does things differently. Like we have different programs here. We have our Inside the Indies, where we watch an independent company from an independent show from all over the world. Don't know where we're watching it from. Could be here in the States, could be wherever. In our wrestling spotlights, focus on one person watching a couple of hours of their stuff. And I say all this to say why I think that it's really cool that what you're doing with this collaboration and getting all these talents together is that it's something that I am very interested in because I like finding the hidden gems of professional wrestling, and they are fucking everywhere. And
everywhere.
with that roster of talent that is coming together, it just makes it easier. I can say, oh, let me just go over here. Who do I want to look at this week? Let me just go over here to this guy's page and look that up and just find a random person and go find some of their matches and throw it out there. That's how it works. And it's great to see that the collaboration effort can work. With that being said, since this has kind of gotten up off the ground and you have went out and you've recruited this roster of people, have you noticed any what I guess the engagement rates and stuff like that? Are you noticing that it is working? And what I mean by working, like sharing the material, uh, the talent that's attached to it, sharing and collaborating. Are you seeing that collaboration and are you seeing growth and getting more eyes on what they are doing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So right now, I can give you some numbers. So right now we're averaging, and I can screenshot this to you too. We're averaging about 47,000 a month views.
Hmm.
Oh
Um,
wow.
I'm reaching. I'm reaching like out of all that, I think it's like 1,500 are interacting all the time. Okay, right?
Hmm.
And then I can tell you that followers have went up um from the wrestlers, like the talent. I've watched their numbers. Like I pay attention to their pages and stuff.
Hmm.
I can tell you one guy in particular, just Maverick. I know he's when he started MOT. I mean, I don't exactly know what his numbers are, but I know he's up above 2K now.
Hmm.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's a very very talented guy. Another diamond. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The guy gets it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of guys that are in the business. They're great wrestlers, and there's no knock on guys like this, the technical guys. But sometimes they just don't got the charisma, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't got the the psychology. They get wrestling, but they just don't get the other parts of it. So I'm
Hmm.
like, those aren't the guys that I was looking for. The guys and gals, should I say, that I was looking for were the diamonds, like you would, so to speak, the ones that you wouldn't normally look at, but you go, hey, once you look at them and you dive a little deep and you look at their matches and you go, okay, these guys get it. These girls get it. You know what I mean?
I can't tell you how
It's
many
amazing, interesting.
relationships that we've built just that way. Um,
Yeah.
falling into spotlighting people, and again, like so with us, like I don't fucking ask anybody. Like I do a spotlight show, I just tag you, and sometimes we get talent
Yeah.
that pop in on the stream and get in the chat. Like, what's this all about? Oh no, man, we're just watching 2 hours of your shit. Sit down and have a good time with us. Like it's just one of those situations, right? Like, and it's happened more often than not that when these guys see the shows that we've done, and keep in mind, this is nothing special. This is it's
Hmm.
just I don't do elaborate backdrops. I don't do any of that bullshit. I don't that's
Yeah.
not who I am. I'm a simple guy. That's why I have people all the time. Oh, can I make you a layout? No, you can't. If I wanted a layout, I'd make it myself. I'd have it. I'm simple. Black
Yeah.
background doesn't require a lot. I'm not here for all that. I'm not here for publicity. I'm not here for fame. I'm not here for fortune. I'm here to promote independent wrestling and those that are taking place in it because it is on fire everywhere, literally everywhere. It is a
Nice.
fantastic time to be watching the scene because there is
Ah,
so much good shit going on, and it's surreal. It takes me back to the territory days, like back in the old territory days, the
so
Crockett era. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna like play off of what you were saying. So the beauty of the moment of truth as well, though, is we don't just got like we got deathmatch people. You know what I mean? We got every aspect of wrestling. It's not just one style.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
it's the
And
full.
then we got some managers. We got a referee. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's all. I want all around. I'm trying to get a ring announcer.
I I
I'm
know I could
just
probably put you.
wondering.
Go ahead, guys.
I'm just wondering. Going back to when you say when you started this platform, reaching out to people, did you feel like in the beginning people were a little bit skeptic of when you approached them? Because
Oh yeah.
like Faith,
Oh
like
yeah.
Faith mentioned, we just do things, and the beautiful thing is about certain shows that we've done is like we also got down the rabbit hole where we just pick matches from a promotion from a couple of days ago, a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, and just make it a show. And we did a show on a French company with a wrestler in it, and the same day we were in our Discord watching a WWE show, and I got hit up by a wrestler who just watched that same day and wants to do an interview with, sit down with us, just like we're doing right now. Is that also
Uh-huh.
something that you are experiencing right now? That you're not that people are contacting you instead of the other way around?
Yes and no. I mean, I actually have been hit up by people that want to join, and it was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
when
Mm-hmm.
I started it, a lot of people were skeptical. You know, they were like, well, what is it? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And there's actually more than one thing I'm trying to accomplish. I'm not just trying to accomplish one goal. My main goal is to help upcoming independent talent. That is the main goal. I want to get their names out there and help them get exposure. That is the main goal.
Well, it'll come
Yes,
back
I
around
know.
to you. It's like Goth. Like when we first started the Beyond the Bell series, as
Yeah.
an example, we didn't have people knocking on our door. We had to go knock on doors. Would we had done indie wrestling for a year prior to this particular series, and I went to Riot City Wrestling out of Australia, Ridshaw. It's like conveniently the guy I'm talking to tonight is the guy we first interviewed on our first Beyond the Bell. He's circling back around tonight to do that. We had to ask, and I got told no more than I got told yes. But again, it was the same concept. I don't know you. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what your platform is, or this Saturday. Okay, cool, no problem. Some of those same people who told us no way back then are coming around today and saying, "Hey guys, I definitely want to sit down and talk to you now," because it takes time. You're building the platform. You're building from the ground up. That's why I can kind of resonate with exactly what you're saying because I had to do the same thing here with this channel. It's not everything you do is a win. You gotta, it's a learning curve as you go. And what's unique about being the first of your kind is that, there is no blueprint. You're putting this thing together and getting these guys and girls to get invested into it, and it's working. That's
Yeah.
the bigger piece of the equation. Holy shit, this is working.
Oh,
This is fine. Yeah,
hey,
yeah. If you need
hold
to
on.
go, yeah, go ahead,
My
dudes.
dog is just come here. Get over here now. I don't need you to start barking right now. So, anyways, yeah, no, you're correct though, man. Building it up from scratch has been fun for me. You know, I love wrestling. I love doing this stuff. Um, and you're exactly right. I got a lot of no's before I got some yeses. And people did do the whole, well, I've never heard of you and blah blah blah, and it's fine. You know what I mean? I don't take it as a knock. You know what I mean? I take it as you're just not believing in what I'm selling, and that's fine. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to. You know what I mean? I just give you the concept. You roll with it or you don't. You know what I mean? It's pretty simple. It's a cut and dry concept. It's not hard to get.
Mm-hmm. You think that people would?
But I will say this though. I will say this before. So it only works for active people though. You know what I mean? So like if you're like a lazy wrestler, I really don't want you. You know what I mean? Like I don't want you being part of Moment of Truth because it doesn't work for you and it doesn't benefit me or you.
No, I get that, 100%. Yeah, I think with my take on it, when it comes to it, again, we're a totally different entity. With tag feds and stuff, I at one point in time, like I cared. I was like, oh my God, please, acknowledge me. And then I was like, wait a minute,
Tribal chief.
I don't give a fuck about the acknowledgement because that's not why I'm
Hmm.
here. Why I'm here is
There you
like
go.
we get these guys from all over the world who pop in on these live streams and tell us, "Hey man, that was a good show. I wouldn't know who this is if I didn't watch it here." We've just
Yeah.
exposed whoever and whatever product, wherever we're watching it from, to a brand new viewer, and that viewer is going to go out there and follow, whether it's a talent or whether it's a fed. That was my concept from
Yep.
day one. And sometimes I have to reel myself back in and be like, yo, this is what the concept was to begin with. This is and you have to stick
Hmm.
to it. Something I think where we get a little bit more uh, credibility and respect from some of the guys and promoters is I mean what I say. We don't keep a penny that this channel makes. Not 1 cent. It goes back into the independent scene, whether it's match
Nice.
sponsorships, whether it's GoFundMe's for talent who are hurt or whatever, or just hitting up a random company who might be like a little engine that could company, like they got something going
Nice.
on, and here man, let me send you $300, let me send you $400. Like it may not do much for you, like buy your crew, get your crew food or something. I don't know, but do something with it because we appreciate what you're doing, and it's been.
And
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, I think that's like so cool that you guys do that because that's exactly the thing that I want to do. You know what I mean? For the
Yeah,
wrestlers, I want to build this page up. I want to start selling merchandise and everything, and all that money goes back into the wrestlers. You know what I mean? We can help them with traveling. We can help them with food. You know what I mean? That's one of the goals. You know what I
the
mean? But that takes time with the building the process and everything.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. 100% because this didn't happen overnight. And truthfully, I think the reason we're doing independent wrestling is because I love it. But I was working with somebody a couple of years ago, and what we were doing wasn't working, and it wasn't. It was just because it wasn't a passion project. I wasn't passionate about it. The two guys, they weren't. We were just doing it because it was just it wasn't even fun at that point anymore. I said, let's do independent wrestling. They said, no, that'll never work. You'll never, for them, it was all about the subscriber count on YouTube. You'll never hit 1,000 on YouTube on indie wrestling. Fast forward 2 years, we're about 130 or 127 away. All on indie
Yeah.
wrestling,
Now,
all on indie wrestling. I
you
don't,
know,
I don't even give a shit.
I,
I want to say fuck
I
you to
I
them.
love that. I love that you said that. You know why? Because I'm a big firm believer in like if you're a negative person, get the hell away from me. You know what I mean? Like
There's,
if I tell you an
yep,
idea and you immediately shoot it down like your friends did, like it's like all right, then we have nothing in common now. Now I know exactly where we stand and we can still be friends, but on some business stuff, I will never. You know what I mean? Like
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
No, I
Yeah.
to this day I parted ways with one, and another one is a co-host on the channel. So like it's like one of them still working with
there
me,
you go.
and, and the other one
There you go.
is I don't know where he's at. I've not looked back.
So yeah,
It's just
What I like,
and I love that.
what I
I
like
don't
the
think you
most.
should ever look back. You know what I mean? Like
No.
especially when you're passionate about something, you shouldn't ever have to. justify why you're doing something to somebody. Because if you have to do that, then they just don't believe in what you're doing, and then you just okay, well you don't need to be around it. Like
Yeah, no. Hold my beer. Let me show you. And then here
What
we
what
are.
I
exactly,
what
watch
I
me
like the
work.
Go ahead,
what I
Gus.
like
You've
no
been
what I
you,
like the most about this channel is the interaction that we got with the wrestlers, the promotions, the everybody around what is going on with wrestling. You, for instance, for the music, but also helping out talent, but also
Mhm.
the platform that we created, that we have so much contact with our fans, that being diehard, diehard fans who some of them even come up for every show, whether it's like 1 o'clock in the midnight for me, or somewhere in the morning for Paige or whatever. They are there. We even got a show on Sundays like Wrestling Request Live, where actually our fans dictate what we're going to watch. They send in requests to matches to our Discord, where what we're gonna watch. We pick them out, several of them, and then we watch them and give our views on it. And we even we pick our winners for the week that we throw in the basket, and in the end of the year they can actually win a championship title. Is there anything that you have like that, where you got the interaction with the fans or some way, or want to grow it from what you got right
I
now to a different level?
Yeah, definitely. So I do get interaction from fans. They DM me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they actually tell me about the product, what they would like to see. You know what I mean?
mm,
Merchandise, stuff like that. So yeah, I do interact with them. I'm very polite. You know what I mean? As long as you're
Mm-hmm.
respectful, I'm always gonna be respectful. You know what I mean? Like so,
Yeah.
and respect the talent as well. Like don't disrespect the talent. I'll block you.
yeah,
That's
Oh yeah.
that's the last thing you need to be
You
doing.
you blocked somebody this morning, sadly
I
enough.
sure did.
Yeah,
I I sure did. Somebody come in on a live stream this morning. Like we don't get a whole lot of haters out there, but there are a few that just kind of poke their heads around, and so yeah, we I don't like to block people, but I will. I really
yeah, no,
I got off fucking Twitter and X. I mean, I still have an account on there, but I don't post on it anymore. But that's like legitimately the reason I switched to Instagram. I saw Instagram was we were hitting. I think I hit 250 a couple of months ago view wise, and then
Yeah.
we haven't looked back, and that came out of fucking nowhere. 250K. I went, what? Wait a minute.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I got to thinking, like at that time, we just covered something in Brazil, and it was a first time market for us. We had
Nah.
just covered something in South Africa. It was a first time market for us. They latched on, like, and what I love about this thing too, man, is like I said, these people they don't know me. They don't know. I've got 7 co-hosts now, from people from here in the States to overseas. They don't know my co-host. They care that we care that we're watching their stuff. You know, to
Nice.
them, it's the States is where it's at. Oh shit, somebody from the States is paying us attention. And they gravitate. And the thing about it, what
Nice.
makes it so cool is like we're not telling you bullshit. It's good wrestling. You know, it's they back their shit up. They just need to be seen. Those hidden gems that you never
Yeah.
fucking know about. Um, so
Right?
on your journey creating and organizing and getting this faction off the ground, what are some of the hidden gems that you have come across? Because you know, you've got a 32 to 34 person roster attached to this thing. What were some of those that were like,
um
and I don't get it, I don't put any heat on you, so if you don't want to answer this question, by all means, don't.
no,
Uh,
no, no.
oh my
I
God, he
I don't think
wanted
I'll
you
get it.
before he wanted me. You know?
No, no. So I don't think I'll get any heat. Let me first off and say they're all diamonds. The ones that I picked, I feel like they're all good. Um,
Good
no,
answer.
if I were to like just specifically pinpoint, because we got so many members, I can't just like off the top of my head. tell you all 33 members without looking at the piece of paper that I have written down.
Google Docs, man. Google
But
spreadsheets is tremendous,
I
bro.
can tell you, I can tell you some of the ones that I found recently. Now, one I want to talk about is Evil Nate. This guy is a freaking genius. He gets it. I love his character. He took his character from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Oh,
He has the
oh,
leather face
shit.
mask. He has the chainsaw. He's
Oh,
great.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, the
follow
guy's
him.
he is just awesome. Check him out. Definitely follow him. Check him out. Watch his content. The guy is awesome. Um, Black Dahlia. She is a true warrior. And when I say that, she is wrestling with CRPS. She has the worst disease known to human being kind.
Oh,
Um, but her story is an inspiration, and a lot of people should tune in. Um, Jack Calloway from Texas, love that guy. Um, the guy that I just got from Australia, the Gospel, Matthew Gabriel. He's another diamond. Haley, the bombshell Danielle down in Florida. Check her out. Um, Maverick Execution. Okay, so Execution is Maverick, Mr. H, and Aaron Creed. Check them out. Those guys. You guys just
Yep.
did an interview with
Talked
Aaron.
to Aaron last week. Sure did.
Those three dudes are talented, very talented. They get the business. Um, there's so many. Bad Nanny. She is so awesome. She
She's
really
coming.
is. That lady is just
She's coming on
she's
Tuesday.
awesome. I want everybody to go follow her. Anybody watching, go follow every wrestler that I'm talking about. Matter of fact, just go check out the Real Moment of Truth page. Trying to think of a couple more. It's, like I said, I'd have to look at the piece of paper to look at like everybody. Oh, young kid I just talked to, Hayden Bright. He just joined MOT. Out of Quebec.
Okay.
Young kid, talented, gets it.
We just spoke to Ricka Wildly not too long ago. That one was a
Oh,
fun
love that guy.
yeah.
one. Oh, he was a fun one. I didn't know he was coming in gimmick until he picked up the fucking phone, and I went, "Wait, what?" he was.
And I didn't know he was gonna do that either.
Listen. We've done in character. We've done out. We've done
Oh, yeah.
interviews with like we worked with feds and brought in like used our platform to shoot stuff for their television, like having them in an interview setting and them going off on each other. I've had guys jump each other on streams. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been it's wild, bro. It's wild. We just go with the flow. And the guys out tell us, hey,
I loved that he did it though.
yeah, you too.
I loved it.
I thought it was fantastic. I kept trying to steer questions
Protecting the
toward.
character,
I kept trying to steer questions towards the character, and the answers I was getting was not. And I was like, "Fuck it!" Halfway through, I'm just gonna wing it and go from here. And it's a really good show. I mean, and
Yeah.
he was such a good dude. I know that we're gonna try and get him and I think the affiliated all those guys on at some point in time, do something with them. But that's it, man. Like it's like
Nice.
trying to use our platform that we've built to get exposure for other people. And at the end of the day, we're going to get ours. Anything that, like I said, we spend our money. I don't go out there and wave a flag. I don't ask for. I don't need recognition. I don't need people to go out and say, "Oh,
There you go.
they did that." No, because that takes away from the fucking gesture. The gesture is to show appreciation, and I don't have to toot that from the fucking rooftops that our channel has done this for this company or we did this for this wrestler or we no that's not to me that's
And
I don't know, it's just a me thing.
I love that though. No, I love it. I love that you said that because I'm gonna tell you why. This is the main reason why, man. It's like giving homeless guy food and you taking a camera and filming it while you're doing it. You know what I mean? You're taking away from, and one, he doesn't want to be filmed. You know what I mean?
Well, we
Yeah.
just
He doesn't need his
like I just
business
sponsored,
out there.
and by I mean our channel. We just sponsored a match in New Jersey with a couple of pieces of talent that
Nice.
I've been watching and we've been watching for the last couple of years. This was an opportunity for us to show our appreciation and say thank you. Like, hey guys, we're watching, and they know we're watching. They're followers of the channel, and this, that, or the other. The Fed was like, I'm not gonna name the Fed, but the Fed was like, hey, we're gonna put a social media post out and tag you for the sponsorship. I was like, no, don't do that. Just an anonymous
Okay.
sponsor. They're sponsoring these two pieces of talent, and I'll approach them and tell them privately that, hey guys, we did this for you because we believe in what you're doing. I don't need, it's not for publicity purposes. It's because we like what you're doing and want to work with you more in the
Exactly.
future. Or if we can get guys talent, man, that's another biggie for us. If I can get guys that come on our show their dream matches or help
Yeah.
make that happen, it's happened more than once.
Yeah.
And that is the most gratifying feeling because those guys will never fucking forget it. Never. Like
Yeah. No. No. I that's awesome.
it's
I think that's so cool.
and it's only gonna branch, dude. Like where you're getting at, like is almost where we were at about a year and a half ago. And when you keep plugging away,
Okay.
but where I believe that you've got a much bigger leg up is especially if all the talent are collaborating with the post and are collaborating with each other to make sure that their content's getting out there. That shit's gonna explode in a big, big way,
Yeah.
especially if people really sit down and take a look at what you're trying to accomplish and see the bigger picture. I always tell people all the time, I'm about the long term commitment. I'm not about the short term gain. I'll do anything long term. I'm not doing anything short term. These these
Yep.
guys can, if they utilize it and utilize it correctly, I do think that that is something that can be very beneficial for everyone involved. And I think it's a matter of time if it does work, and there's probably people out there watching to see if it works and are already
Oh, I know.
figuring out like, oh, okay, well, now we know it's possible. How can we enhance it? But there can only be one original. There can only be one first. There can only be one
Exactly.
first of
Yeah.
anything.
I'm.
So
We're the first, baby.
yeah,
They
absolutely. And I'm
can copy. They can copy all they want. You know what I mean? And I've said this. I've told people that are close to me, hey, look, they can copy all they want, but I'm the original. I'm the blueprint. You know what I mean? I'm building this by just, and I'm on the fly. You know what I mean? It's not like I really know what I'm doing. It's, you know what I mean? I can't really, and it's not that I don't know what I'm doing because I do know what I'm doing because, okay, so I was in the music industry for a long time. So I know how social media works.
hmm
So if you look at my profile, my personal profile, it has over 3,000 followers and stuff like that. That was all built off of music. I haven't been focused on music since like 2019. That's like 6 years ago. Those followers are from then. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So if I would have kept going till now, I'd probably be way bigger. You know what I mean? But I wasn't focused. I switched my focus because one, I wasn't passionate. Like you were like saying with the last thing you were doing,
hmm
it was just like
Yeah,
it
it was
became
just
monotonous, right?
it was going through the motions. It was fun to begin with, but it was just it
There you
dwindled out.
go. And then
Yeah.
so that was me. I'll tell you this is how I knew I was done with music, man. I was at a show and I was on a stage, and when I was done getting off of the stage, I just felt this sense like you're doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like you're not where you're supposed to be, dude. Like, and it's not that the people weren't vibing to my music or bobbing their head or anything like that. It was just I was just like, I think I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if everybody has that kind of epiphany moment. Like, like, hey, no, this is where I want to go. This is the direction I want to go. I don't know, but that's what I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I feel first of all, let me go over to the chat real quick. Shout out to Steve Wrestler, Portugal. He's 9 o'clock in Lisbon right now, so we've got one of our friends from Portugal, and we got one of our buddies from the UK. UK
Shout
Paul's in
out
the
to
house.
Portugal.
Yeah, international dude. There's a lot of international flavor that's in the chat. Like we tend to try and draw that kind of audience, and we appreciate
I
everybody.
love that.
Yeah,
And I love that. And see, that's what the Moment of Truth is all about as well, because I want to be a global brand. I don't just want to be in the States. Yes, I want to take over the States and take over the independent scene. Yes. But I also want to take over the scenes everywhere else. You know what I mean? I want Moment of Truth everywhere. Everywhere.
I think that it can get there, man. You talked about social media.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know
yeah,
it can.
something about and this is again, this is a me thing. Like I Instagram as an example. Like I just switched to Instagram 6 months ago. I just opened the
Hmm.
account, and I was talking to my better half about this the other day, and this is how wild shit gets from time to time. Not even 4 months ago, not even 4 months ago, I was struggling to get 200 people to follow Instagram,
Hmm.
and from then to now, like we're pushing, I think we're pushing 900 on Instagram. But I get these DMs from people, and they're like, "Oh my God, you should have thousands of followers right now. What are you?" Yeah, and I have to tell these motherfuckers, I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
here.
not doing it for that.
No.
Exactly. I was like, that's not the point. And the fact that you people think that that is why people are here, that's not it.
That's crazy.
We're an
That's
organic
not. You're
growth.
missing the point.
Right. People that want to follow us are going to follow us because they like what we're doing. I'm not going to go buy
Yeah.
followers. I'm not going to go buy
Exactly.
fucking views. I'm not doing any of that bullshit. Fuck off and let us do our thing because we're going to grow organically. Again, I'd rather have those that want to
Yeah.
follow us be the ones that follow us. And I think that it's just a matter of time before your situation pops
I'm
off in a
of.
much bigger way. Go ahead, God.
Just
I'm of.
one, the one thing that I
Go ahead.
always,
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll get to you. But the one thing I always feel like that the most important thing is that you got to be yourself, be believable. I mean, don't feel like you're better than everybody else. Do what you do and do what you believe in, and that if people like it, then they will keep on coming back. The one the one individual that comes to my mind is Didi, somebody from Romania, who we refer to as our Japanese
Oh, she
correspondent,
just popped
because
in chat, by the way.
say a name and
He did
she
not know.
appears.
Goth is
Your
blind.
peers.
Goth is legally blind, and you can tell when he's looking down at his phone versus when he's not. He had no idea. DD literally just popped in chat and said, "Hey guys, speaking of
Oh
international,
wow.
here's our song. Speaking
Yeah,
of
but
global,
Nice.
it's amazing
Vampire
that things
Vampire
like that
Land
just
says
happen.
hi. Vampire Land says hi. So yes,
But
sorry,
we just
I had
it's
to
just
jump in.
it's because of the connection that we got. People just feel like it's organic. It's believable. They don't see us like we are mega stars. We're just
That's
bunch
because
of
we're
guys.
not. We're just
We no, we're just bunch of guys who love wrestling, and that's what people like to see, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that the one thing that I just want to give you. Just be yourself, and don't worry if somebody doesn't like it. Fuck 'em.
Exactly. And I learned this a long time ago. You know, you can like me, you can love me, you can hate me, but one thing you will do is respect my hustle. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you're gonna do that. That's it. You know what I mean? You don't have to like it, you don't have to love it. I don't care. You know how somebody feels about me is none of my business. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's not. I don't really care. If you don't like me, well then I don't know what to tell you because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
I have no time to care what people think in building all this. You know what I mean? Like doing what I'm doing, if I cared about what people think and every comment and every, you know what I mean? Like I would spend more time worrying about all that than actually building. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, I get it. No, 100%.
So yeah, there's no sense in all that. And hate is it takes a lot, out of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
it
delete it.
sure
Probably
does.
say.
Like like I said, we don't get much of it anymore. We did get it back in the day a lot. It was, I mean, even on YouTube, like this is why I despise social media too. I think for me, it's the bane of all existence. It's such a necessary evil. Uh, but it's like I got to a point where I just deleted anything that was hate related. Like hate comment goes. Come in my chat here, you come on my Twitch channel, and you fuck around, you'll find out. I don't play around. Uh, our audience, this is a safe space for them. They can come in here and have a good time, watch wrestling. They don't get out of line. Nobody fucking, you know, there's no toxicity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that is very rare when you're
Yeah.
looking at anything on a wrestling platform. Goth made mention about Wrestling Request Live. That is literally a show where we'd give them the keys to the kingdom. So you're getting
Yeah.
influences from people in Vampire Land, as Dee says. You're getting influences from people in the UK. You're getting influences from people here in the States. All their style, their wrestling. So while we spend most of our week, introducing ourselves to new independent companies and talents, that Sunday we spend the time being introduced to what our audience likes and what our audience wants to
Hmm.
wants to see too. Like, because again, without I say Gene Simmons is a wise man because he once said, "Without the fans, you're nothing." They they
Exactly.
Yeah.
they build us up, and we give them that opportunity. And with you specifically, with Moment of Truth, really just starting to get up off the ground, uh, and I know that global, presence is definitely on the horizons. What's your next layers look like, right? Like your next building blocks. You've now gotten it off the ground. You've gotten 30 or 32, 33 people internationally, all over the world in play. What's next? Like how? What's the next step?
Well, next is the footwork. That's like the most important part of building MOT. And I tell the wrestlers this: the most important part of this is me getting out there and traveling and getting to shows. Now, I can't literally get to 33 shows a year. You know what I mean? I have to work and everything, but I can get to some shows and I can promote the talent and merchandise and stuff like that. So that's one of the building blocks. I would like to start as well YouTube channel. I wanted that's another reason why I want to travel. And so I can network with promotions and network with their cameraman, stuff like that, so I could get links, videos, stuff like that, so I can start building the YouTube channel. So it's like I said, it's a process.
I got you. I got you. No, it's and I'm gonna tell you now, you're probably gonna, and this is why I say, again, I think something that separates us from a lot of people is if something doesn't work, it didn't stop us. It means that you just got to pivot. You're gonna hit some roadblocks along the way, and when
Yeah.
you do,
Hmm.
I want you just to remember, if you don't remember a goddamn thing I say to you, remember this: every problem has a solution, and
Yeah.
it's
Like I like that.
you have to keep going. You have to keep trucking. If I would have given up on this when I thought about it, which was about a year and a half, about a year ago, almost, where I really thought about, all right, I have a real job that I've got to work during the week. That's 45, 50 hours. Now I'm pulling, you know, anywhere between 12 to 16 live hours a week, not counting editing hours, not counting, oh, by the
Hmm.
way, I'm married. I have a personal life. Oh, by the way, I have to handle this. I have to handle this. It gets challenging, but if I gave up, we wouldn't see the fruits of the labors that we put in. Back then, I had
Yeah.
a 3-man team. Right now, I've got a 7-man team. I'm about to expand to 9. We're thinking about going,
Nice.
the moves are being made to eventually put something on the air every day. Then from every day would be, It's about 2 hours a day. We would almost eventually get into a situation where my channel and this channel could run 24/7. All independent wrestling, all
No,
different kinds of wrestling. I want a
I love it.
network.
I love it.
I'm
I
not
love it.
building a
I love it.
channel. I'm
So,
building a fucking network.
so I love that, and the reason I love that so much, and I'll tell you why. So I always tell people I consume more wrestling than probably like any human should, and you guys probably too. I
Yeah,
feel like you
of
guys
course.
do the same thing I do. I feel like you do though. I feel like you guys are on my level of watching like just everything, not just the top guys, but from the lower tier to, and like you said, the different countries and everything. I love that stuff. I love seeing the different styles and all that.
Hmm.
So that's why I say I love that, man. That's really cool that you guys are headed towards that direction.
Oh yeah.
I think that's really cool. Nobody's doing that. That's for sure.
I'll tell you. I told my mom. I can't believe I'm saying this. I told my mother this today. Literally today. This is probably 6 hours old. Told her I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a 5-year plan with this channel, and we just went into year 2, and we're at
Okay.
the growth level of year 3.5 in my head and on paper where I thought we would be. So
Okay.
we have hit. So we're so much further ahead. I'm gonna get to where I want to get to by 4 years at this point,
Nice.
and that's just
Nice.
with the trajectory that we're on right now. If we pick up more momentum, which we will. There's a lot of things, and I'm trying to sound cocky. I'm not. That did sound cocky. I'm not trying to be that way because there's a lot of things that are.
No, you know what? You're not being
Confident.
cocky, man. You're just stating facts. That's how I look at it, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's tight. Well, you guys did a couple interviews with my guys. The numbers went up, my man. So you guys, the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Well, I tell I think too. Like, just if someone comes in and does a show with us, you're not just getting me followed by me. Like, I have 7 of people, so that's 7 right there. That's gonna follow just because they're post on the channel that they want to see what I see, and vice versa. They send me people. They're like, "Oh, hey, I just started following this guy," and I'll do the same thing, and I'll follow just because that's somebody that they're interested in as well. Um, and it's just I had my ADD just kicked in and I lost where I was going. Had it, and it's
It's all good.
out my head. Goth,
Uh,
look over to you. Save me.
Thank you. Well, just jump into the whole situation what Paige is saying about growth. I'm at this point in a situation that um, I've been dealing with a 2-year-old situation where I've had health situation. I've lost like over 90 pounds in the last 2 years because of heart problems and medication and getting back to where I should be. And I'm at this point that I'm going to be hosting my first show tomorrow with
Nice.
with UK Paul, and we're also planning on starting our own show in the near future, where we want to just promote more European promotions, wrestlers, because there's
Nice.
only like 4 or 5 weeks in a month, and we can only air so much. So with extra shows, we can just reach out so much more. And for somebody who has never wrestled, for somebody who thought like, okay, I'm not working anymore because of my situation with my health, I can now contribute again in some way or some form that I get satisfaction out of it. I get such a high out of it that I can uh, get get in contact with all the talent over in Europe, and I'm just so excited. So that's what motivation gets you. That's where being positive gets you. Just not giving up, and I just hope that you will get there too. And if you keep on pushing and keep on pushing, you will get there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So like I said, I started in 2019 and I got a lot of no's before I got a yes. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean a lot. And it wasn't like I didn't take it personally. You know what I mean? I just took it as it's just not where I'm supposed to be yet. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at life. It's
Yeah.
if something doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, that just like he said, you just pivot. You don't just stop. The goal doesn't stop.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you right now, my main goal is I want to do music for a big company. You know what I mean? I would like to work for like TNA, WWE, AEW, somewhere along the line. Somewhere. I
That
don't
was
care
that
who it
was one of
is.
the questions I was going to. What is your big goals for the future?
That
So
that's the
you already
that's
answered that
that's
question.
the biggest goal that I personally have. My biggest goal for MOT is to be able to throw a show every year.
Okay.
I would like to, and all the benefits go to the wrestlers.
Yeah,
Every
no,
single dollar.
I
Every
can
single dollar.
I can get on board with that.
I don't benefit from this at all. You know what I mean? Like,
I,
and that's where I'm at with that. I would like to, get sponsors, stuff like that all along the way. But that's like I said, takes time, building process. We're still in the process of building and everything. We are on a roll though. I can say this, like we're almost at 800 followers, and I didn't see that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I thought I would take a while to get there.
no, it's gonna build some momentum. It's gonna be, there's something there. And I think that the future is gonna show you that. Um, and the bigger it gets, then sky's the limit. I mean, really, with the idea and the concept, it's not that bad. I kind of wish I'd have thought about it.
Well, like you said, with the collaboration, that's how it works. Okay, like I tell the wrestlers this, like MOT only works if you guys work. You know what I mean? Like if you guys aren't active and you're not posting and you're not collaborating with the page, then the traffic is not going both ways. You know what I mean? Because we all know how the algorithm works in the traffic. If you once you get that traffic booming, we've gotten, like I said, we're averaging 47K every 30 days right now. That's just in the last 30 days.
Mhm.
Um, we have almost 200 followers in the last 30 days. Um, like I'd have to look at the numbers again, like to
No, the growth
be
is there.
specific, but I know it's growing and I can see the progress. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm very aware of everything, but I also know there'll probably be some bumps along the way. Like you said, there's going to be some times where I'm going to go, man, this isn't working, so I got to do this. You know what I mean? So, and I understand that, but yeah, my biggest goal personally is I want to work for a big company because, like I said, I just don't think the music's good. It's not good to me. Like I said, some wrestlers come out and I'm like, who is that? And then I see them and I'm like, oh yeah, that's their music.
Oh, did it change? Oh wait, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
I just
And
haven't.
then not
I
only that,
just
they
didn't
changed
know.
it so many times
Uh,
too.
oh
So,
man.
and I think right now, WWE has Def Rebel doing their music. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. There's a couple that I like. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I like Fatu's that they just did.
Hmm.
I like Solos. Um, I do like Jay. Oh, everybody loves Jay Usos. But there's not many. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Def Rebel doesn't make a ton of stuff that I'm just jumping out the box for. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like WWE always is leaning on bigger artists for their songs to like pay per views and stuff because their in house dudes ain't doing it.
Facts. That's
You
100%
know what I
fact.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. 100.
So like that's where I'm at. I'm like, man, a guy like me, I would like to honestly, and this is another goal. I will say this: I want to put together kind of a team. Because I know a lot of musicians, and I know a couple guys that are one that's in it. He's a wrestling fan. He's already signed to Suburban Noise. I need to holler at his manager, but I want to put together a team together and actually have a meeting with WWE, TNA, or somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do what I have to do to get in these doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. Let me know how it goes and keep
So,
me posted along the way, man. This has
oh,
been
of course. I'm in it for long term, like you said. You know what I mean? I'm building long term relationships here, not just short term. If you're in it for the short term with me, and you just think you can gain something off of me by latching on to MOT, then yeah, we're probably not going to have a long term relationship. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
not going to
yeah.
work.
I'm the same way. Like I literally
Yeah,
with everything that we do and every piece of our platform, like I said, it's all been grassroots and it's all organic. We keep it going, we keep it moving, we keep on to the next and conquering what's next week, what's the week after that, what's our next lineup looking like, and you guys are gonna
hmm
get right there, dude. I have no doubt about it, man. This has been a great conversation. I'm so glad we were able to sit down and talk about this concept because I can get behind it, especially if the guys and the girls are utilizing it and taking advantage of it. You could definitely make something happen here and get their shit out to other people that may not see it under normal circumstances.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I encourage all the wrestlers and talent to reach out to each other as well, so they can network and
Hmm.
possibly work for those other promotions and stuff like that. Because that's where the magic really happens is once they start crossing over.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see guys from Texas pop up in Arizona, or Arizona guys pop up in Texas, or
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
It's
Evil
a
Nate is one of those guys that travels everywhere, and that's why I was saying like he's one of the guys that I really like to push a lot because he's just he's willing to travel, but he's also willing to just put himself out there, and it's really cool.
let's see. That's just just on the content side of the equation. It could be very beneficial for everybody. We ain't even talking about and we'll save this for another time for sure because this will be a whole nother can of worms. We ain't even talking about the networking behind the scenes where, hey man, let me put your name out here to our promoter. They're looking for a couple of
Hmm
people. These guys are looking for a couple of people. This show. Uh, There's a lot more in play with the idea. It's a much bigger picture than than we may have cast a light on in this
Oh
first
yeah,
sit
we
down
can
here
have
for
that
sure.
conversation for sure another time. Um, there's a way bigger picture, and I see it, and I'm glad that you see that.
Oh yeah, that's because again, I go back to like the grassroots of our platform is if I can introduce you to one new person that hasn't seen your shit and they follow you, that's a win. It's one person, just
Yeah.
one. Um,
Yeah.
rarely you'll rarely see me plug our YouTube channel. Like I said, it's on the screen. Don't get me wrong, but you're not. I may once a week maybe say, hey man, why don't you go over here hit that subscribe button at our blah. You know, but at the end of the day, it's not about
Yeah.
that. It's all about that's about me selfishly wanting to get to 1,000 so I can give the middle finger and name the puppy who said it couldn't be done. That
Nice, nice.
that's a
No,
personal
and
matter.
I love that as well that you said that. I love that you said that because I'm doing it for the same reason. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this for me. This is all for the talent. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't try to put myself over ever on that Instagram page. You know what I mean? Like it's not about me.
Mm-mm.
I'll post something about me once in a while, like very rare. But yeah, I'm not trying to get myself over. You know what I mean? Like this isn't about me. This is about helping these people get their names out there and get exposure and help them make a living, you know what I mean? And possibly get signed. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
That's it. And
Goss.
another, and I can tell you this before we end it,
Sure.
another reason I started this, and I've heard so many stories about wrestlers living in their cars and so that's another reason why I started the MOT, because if we can generate this platform and start generating money. That's where it helps the wrestlers. The wrestlers don't have to sleep in their car. I can give them $400 or $500. Hey, hit the road. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or if they're already on the road, here's $400 for gas and food.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's keeps the wheels moving. And there's a lot on the grind that
Yeah.
people will never see because they're not on the grind in professional wrestling on the independent circuit. It's just that I get it. I feel you on that, and I think that's very good. That's a noble and respectable thing. We can definitely talk a little bit more about that too. Goth,
Of course.
let's go ahead and say your
Yeah.
goodbyes before we close it out.
I just want to say thank you all for being here, for joining us on this interesting conversation about everything that's about wrestling and why we love this all and why we have our passion for anything what we're doing. I'm looking forward to see you all next time where we do another Beyond the Bell. We got one other one planned later on tonight. And everyone who's been here live, thank you. Everybody who's watching this on replay on YouTube, thank you all for watching this. And I'm looking forward to see you all next time.
Mr. Coupe Deville, the floor is
Yeah.
yours,
Shout
sir.
out to CCP podcasting. Thanks for having me on, guys. I really, really enjoyed the conversation. Before we leave, I do want to plug the Instagram. It is at TheRealMomentofTruthFaction on Instagram. If you are watching, give us a follow. You might be surprised. We got some pretty talented wrestlers, some cool content, and we got a lot of interesting things coming.
The easiest way, guys, that you can support independent wrestling is by sharing, and subscribing where you can. And in this case, it's free. Much like the Real Moment of Truth over on Instagram, Coupe Deville is the real Coupe Deville. It's been on the screen the entire show. You should head on over, smash that follow on Instagram. Head over to the Real Moment of Truth. If you're obviously it's not on the screen, but it will be linked down below over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. It's super simple. It doesn't cost you anything. Without these guys and without guys in the industry in general and the girls in the industry in general getting out there, busting their ass in the companies that put on the product, we don't have anything to watch. And as I've said a million times before, there's no fun in that. So do your part. It's not hard to do. Super simple. If you haven't done so already, shame on you. 4, the sexiest man in the Netherlands. He's just a sexy goth.
Sexy golf.
For our guest today, Mr. Coupe Deville, I am Chris Page. We will see you next time.